What's good, guys? So today, while everybody else is out trick-or-treating their balls off, I get to be at home doing jack squat nipple hairs for no real reason, because I don't want to go outside and get candy that has been drugged by some fat Asian dude who, no, I'm just kidding. I have nothing against Asian people, but just by some person who thinks that I just don't want to die tonight, is honestly what I'm trying to say here. I'd like to live a couple more years or days or hours. So yeah. So today I want to kind of talk about the topic of parties. Now, personally, I've never really been to a party that has been too very crazy. I've been to costume parties for Halloween and stuff, and that's about it. But near me there's this place, okay, and they do an indoor kid-friendly trick-or-treating session. Excuse me. God. Trick-or-treating session. And it lasts for 2 to 3 hours, I believe. Well, up there they for some odd freaking diddly dumb reason, it's not really dumb, but it's indoors, and this is the part that's really smart. There's no drugged candy. You can't get drugged candy. The only thing is I'm in the high parts of 12, and I wanted to go up there, and I could have went up there and got in and got trick-or-treat a little bit, but I'm not 12 at the same time as I am 12. I don't want to trick-or-treat. So, not only do I not want to get drugged, but I also don't want to get, I'm just too mature, well, I'm not really that mature, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to trick-or-treat, especially indoors with many little kids, because personally, to me, little kids are stupid and obnoxious. But they're okay. I mean, I'll be around 5 or 6 little dudes. But when you're inside a freaking building and there's at least 50, 60 people in there, these are adults, and then they bring kids. I can't do that. I'm sorry, but I just can't do that. But anyway, the topic of parties. I've never been to a party. The most I've been to is costume parties and what I said up there with all the good stuff. But I've heard some things from some friends of mine and their brothers who are in college. I've heard some pretty crazy party stories. So I'm going to be telling y'all some of these. And none of them are actually involve any drugs. To my surprise, none of them involve drugs or marijuana or too much alcohol. Okay, they involve a good bit of alcohol, I'm not gonna lie. So if you don't want to listen to a lot of alcohol from a 12-year, me talking, a 12-year-old talking about a bunch of freaking college students who are decide they're gonna freaking get freaking lit and drunk and all that. By the way, for fun, just count how many times I say freaking in this episode. Yep. But anyways, and they just feel like they're gonna get lit, okay? And then they do, and it's freaking retarded. Okay, no, I'm not gonna use that word because that's a bad word. Okay, we don't use that word on my channel. Okay. They just decide that they're gonna just get wrecked hard, and they don't really figure out how they're gonna do that, so they decide they're gonna do alcohol because none of their friends really have drugs. Or at least that's what I was told. None of the friends actually have drugs. So that could be why. But so from what I was told, the kid walks up into the party, okay? And it wasn't anything too crazy. I mean, they're there, red Solo cups, blah blah blah, movie scene, you get it. They're sitting there all freaking just kids getting passed out on the floor, playing truth or dare in a bedroom, stuff in bedrooms is going on. I think you know what I'm talking about here. It's just what you would think at a college party that's really crazy. So the kid gets there, pours himself some drinks, like nothing too crazy. I think he like started with punch, like a red punch drink, and it escalated. He slowly escalated from there. Sub-Zero. So from what I can see, nothing too crazy happened for the first couple minutes that he was telling me this, and then it started to get a little crazy. Like, he's sitting there drinking out of his little cup, talking to some of his friends who also are not freaking drunk or anything. They're not all drunk bums. The only reason he went was because some of his friends were gonna be there, and the whole shebang. So, pardon me there, I'm a freaking turd head, and I had a oh my god, turd head, and I had to drink some water because my throat's getting dry, because, you know, stupid stuff like that. But so he's talking with his friends and stuff, and so like all of a sudden, like, you always, like, every party has one of two ways of getting torn up, or, like, I guess you'd say disperse. Well, actually 3 ways that I can think of, and probably many more that if I sat here and thought for a little bit. But one of them is, if you're having your party at your mom's house and she comes home and throws everybody out, that's one way for a party to be dispersed. Another way is the cops show up. The third way is fights. If someone gets into a fight, you should probably leave. This isn't as much as like a disperse, but if you got fist fights going on, you want to leave, because eventually someone's gonna get the freaking ball sack knocked out of them, and cops are gonna show up. Guess who's the suspect? Culprit, witness is you, and that's just not something you want to be in. So if this starts flying, you probably want to get out of there. So I consider that a dispersing of the party. So this is what actually happened. Like 3 hours after he got there, the cops show up. Just try to disperse the party. Okay, people just left. Hour later, they come back. Party's lit again. And when I use the word lit, I mean it gets loud. Like, when people say lit, it can mean a lot of things. My definition of lit is escalating quickly. So, the party's getting lit again. And at this point, the guy, we're gonna call him Daniel, which Daniel is with some of his other friends, and he's getting, like, his soberness is dropping, and, like, he's doing shots, tequila, pretty much, like, stuff he shouldn't, well, he was of age to be doing, but there were underage people there that were also doing it. So, this happens, he's getting, like, his soberness is dropping, and he's going into drunkenness. And Daniel's one friend, who is very conscious of health and everything else, tells Daniel he needs to stop. Daniel's like, nah, man, you stupid. You don't know how this is gonna go down. I'm just gonna keep drinking here. And he's still drinking in booze. Like, he's boozed up pretty bad. Well, at this point, Daniel's picking a fight, and I think we all know where this is gonna go. Daniel starts finding some dudes, and as from here you can guess, Daniel gets into a fight. Now, when I say Daniel gets into a fight, I don't mean just Daniel gets into like a mouth fight. Like, Daniel walks over this guy and full on just hooks him in the jaw, and the kid drops the ground, but the kid was tough. Like, we're gonna call him Billy. The kid who got punched was Billy. Billy was tough. I mean, Billy got up, and grabbed Daniel. And it wasn't anything too hostile at this point. Grabs Daniel by the shoulders. Like, just take your 2 arms, cross them over, and put them on your shoulders. Now, imagine a very tall, muscular guy that has his hands on your shoulders. And he has a serious look in his face. And he looks right at you. And you look up to him. And he goes, "Stop." Now, imagine you going, "No." And at this point, this is where I think everything escalated. Everything just happens at once. The cops show up. Tickets are starting to be given out. Daniel's in the backyard fist fighting with this Billy kid. Okay, now I don't disclose real names, so Daniel and Billy are not their real names. However, they are like real names, but they're not their names. Yeah, I shouldn't have had to explain that. You're not retards. But, oh my god, I used the word again. You guys aren't stupid. You know, okay? So, eventually, party gets dispersed. Everybody leaves. Yada da da da. Everything's good. So, that was close to Halloween. Alright. So, if you guys enjoyed this story, please go ahead and leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, because, you know, I need all that stuff. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. Taking the time out of your day to sit down, watch my video. Hopefully it made you feel better. And just whatever I say, just don't let anybody put you down. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.